Do not let me down, Johnson. I mean, 8 Heart.
Welcome to hell. 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 Welcome to hell.
待たせたな相棒、奴の意志を引き継ぐ悪魔、奴持つ心臓、闇のヒーロー、ドクロのジョンソン、エイトハットの登場、7つの弾丸、でも大丈夫、悪魔とダンシング、闇合う毎晩、ベジタリアン、食らうお野菜、イコール全ては大胆、超効くぜ、魔界やばいぜ、旅は道連れ、ライトショップヒスケル、闇を見つめ、今宵のビッグゲーム邪魔する奴ら全員沈めよ、I'm a hero、8つの心臓、お前に倒せないエイトハート、バックな話だぜ、孤軍奮闘、貫く正義、やるしやる分も、何が待ってるかわからない、それが旅の醍醐味さ変わらない、最低の旅だって構わない、今だロードムービーは終わらない、何が待ってるかわからない、それが旅の醍醐味さ変わらない、最低の旅だって構わない、血に泥ムービーは終わらない、何が待ってるかわからない、それが旅の醍醐味さ変わらない、最低の旅だって構わない、今だロードムービーは終わらない、何が待ってるかわからない、それが旅の醍醐味さ変わらない、最低の旅だって構わない、血に泥ムービーは終わらない、あいつの意志を継いでいる俺がいる限り奴は死んでねえ、地獄の果てで闇を切り裂け、8つのことを闇に響かせ、一期一会より一期を食え、実力のねえ奴は聞くだけ、今を生きるため探したわけ、 Welcome to hell、 何が待ってるかわからない、それが旅の醍醐味さ変わらない、最低の旅だって構わない、今だロードムービーは終わらない、何が待ってるかわからない、それが旅の醍醐味さ変わらない、最低の旅だって構わない、血に泥ムービーは終わらない、何が待ってるかわからない、それが旅の醍醐味さ変わらない、最低の旅だって構わない、今だロードムービーは終わらない、何が待ってるかわからない、それが旅の醍醐味さ変わらない、最低の低の低の低の低のの
Welcome to hell. Welcome to hell.
Yo, 闇のヒーロー、7つの弾丸、ドクロのジョンソン、
Welcome to hell.
I'm a hero、 心臓、 I'm a hero、 でも大丈夫、悪魔とダンシング、ビッグゲーム、やつ持つ心臓、バックな
Welcome to hell.
みんな倒す、エイトハート、レブン、貫く正義、ガルシアの分も、何が待ってるかわからない、それが旅の醍醐味さ変わらない、最低の旅だって構わない、今だロードムービーは終わらない、何が待ってるかわからない、それが旅の醍醐味さ変わらない、最低の旅だって構わない、血に泥ムービーは終わらない、何が待ってるかわからない、それが旅の醍醐味さ変わらない、最低の旅だって構わない、今だロードムービーは終わらない、
Do not let me down, Johnson. I mean, 8 heart.
Oh, thank God!
Well, no, I've actually lied. You guys have been completely audible for the past 3 minutes or so. Just you,
What?
actually.
That's automatic.
I just want to talk about my goats.
Yeah,
I will
because you
be,
did a
I will be
porn
submitting any personable information to the police and various data collectors who want your information more than anything in the world. Hello, everybody.
Go watch
Welcome to
Dead
the
End
stream.
Paranormal Park! There's a trans man in here. The drag queen is actually in one of the VAs. Shout out to Clinton! Hey!
I have other things to be watching.
More power to you. Oh shit!
Whoa.
Sorry.
I heard me.
Keep that. Sorry.
I heard me again.
You're in an endless loop of talking.
Poopasinka.
Sorry. I forgot I had the sound up.
You're fine.
At any rate, hello, everybody, and welcome to the
Sorry for
stream.
what? Wait.
Apologies, AC was just quoting gay porn again, as he's wont to do. Now then,
What do you
let's just
mean?
go ahead and get into the bulk of it. Believe it or not, the reason why we didn't stream Friday was not because of Nirvana Initiative. It was actually a series of other things. But I have basically been playing that non-stop for the past 3 days.
Which I'm angry about.
You shouldn't be. Because I did take breaks.
I worry about all my friends.
I was the one who was like, hey, maybe we can have no stream day on Friday, so I get to play this game that I bought.
As we all know, Khan hates anime and visual novels, and she doesn't want an orange anywhere near it.
Yeah,
Stop
Khan's actually, Khan's
Stop
been deceiving
slandering
you
my
all.
good
She
name.
actually
Keep my
hates
name
the
out your
ends
mouth.
and never plays them once.
Hey, keep that
No,
name.
I'm just
keep my
imagining
name out
like
your
the
mouth.
Hail,
Stop with
like
this
the
racist-
Captain America, like the Hail Hydra thing of Khan being like not too fond of voice acting anime.
No! Don't throw me under the bus! Come on, I'm not literally lying there for
at
that. I'm
any
right here
rate-
standing on the sidewalk.
Our regular scheduled commercial segment. This episode of Umineko no Naku Koroni is brought to you by Captain Crunch. Crunchitize me, Captain.
Ooh, I love that cereal.
I'm looking forward to getting Crunch Ties right now, if I'm gonna be honest.
Do you eat Captain Crunch?
No, I actually don't like cereal at all, if I'm gonna be real.
Blasphemer!
Do you know which children like the taste of cinnamon toast?
I have to turn you up, Randy. There we go.
Oh, she was asking if you know how kids love the taste of Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Don't worry. Say something again.
Something.
Poopa Stanka.
You're audible, but you're still rather quiet by comparison.
How's this? Is this better?
That's much better, yes.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, I just gotta hold the mic up to my mouth.
Can't.
Yeah, pretty much.
Audible? Am I audible?
Get out of my fucking
sorry,
ear.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Randy, but the acoustics in that place you're staying at are fucking atrocious.
Hold up a second!
This is a living room.
Where's Zaz? I thought Zaz liked this upcoming part.
Explains
He'll
Azaz,
be here. He'll be here.
Azaz
He
says
better
he
be.
probably can't make it, but you know what?
Oh,
That's never
damn,
stopped us
tragic.
yet.
Tragic. Keep it moving. Let's go.
Yeah, we gotta keep this shit
You're
moving.
rotating
Yeah,
those
I've got my
saves
water,
there.
I've got my Dr. Pepper, and I've got my Captain Crunch right here.
Think of intellectuals.
That said, you might end up just watching the stream.
Of course, the only downside with Captain Crunch is it cuts the roof of my mouth like something
Anyways,
weird.
time for something happy.
Question mark.
However, it was an unusual sight, which seemed to be very far away. Actually, that's Angie, so go ahead.
My body is being hugged by Dad and Mom. Dad was sniffling and his face was covered with tears. There were tears in Mom's eyes too as she held me tight. It was so strong that it hurt. They held me all with their strength. Me, the bad kid who wasn't obedient, who always had an excuse, who always tried to do the opposite of what her parents said. They held me tight to make sure I didn't head down the wrong path. As my eyes adjusted, I could see other people besides my parents. Everyone was there. George Oni-chan, Jessica Oni-chan, Maria Oni-chan, my uncles and aunts, even Sakutaro. And there's the witch Virgilia, and Ronove, and... Where? You were fortunate. By chance we found you drifting in the waves of the Sea of Emptiness. You were in a terrible state. It took quite some time to make you remember your true form. Beatrice. So, this is...
The Golden Land. Your whole family's been waiting here for you to return.
We knew you'd come home.
Did I come home because I was supposed to? I've gone back to how I'm supposed to be. And now...
No, you did come home.
That's right. You made it back here because you wanted to come home to us.
Dad... Mom...
You don't need to say anything. You've been on a great and terrible journey, haven't you? A journey where you were all alone.
You understand now, don't you? You won't forget again.
I understand, Dad.
This is a place you can always call home.
I know. When I gave that answer, Dad and Mom hugged me again. Hot tears fell onto my face. They were Dad's and Mom's tears. I can tell by looking that you're far from all right. But I'm so glad. Glad you came home. And Ava... Feel free to hate me as much as you want. Give your dad and mom a million kisses. Give a kiss to everyone who cared about you so much. Not to Ava.
And say I'm home to your other mother.
Mom gave me a push from behind and I stumbled forwards. Towards my other mother. Ava. Mom. John. Only... I'd call you Mom on that day. I might never have messed up. You might have been able to create a new world together. That's enough. You come home. You don't need to say anything else. Mom. Welcome home, Auntie-chan. For my adorable daughter. Mom. Always. And until the end, you were my closest friend.
The two of them hugged each other quietly. burying their faces into the other's shoulders and sobbing. The truth wasn't worth anything at all. In the first place, the truth is always in the past. The point of the future isn't to learn what happened in the past. What really matters is whether I can... That's you. Khan is crying. Khan, this is your line when you can spare a moment.
She finally found a home with her parents and her mom. I'm sorry. This is just so beautiful.
Do you want somebody else to take over?
I'll just keep... I think I could just fucking keep reading the narration. Because, like, this is taking a little too long if I'm gonna be real.
I mean, I'm fine with her having her moment.
I know, but also, like, we just started. We gotta keep this thing going.
I'm sorry.
It's fine.
I'm a bleed heart.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry, Khan. You have a very pretty heart. It's probably very easy to strangle.
Wait, what?
It is very weak and precious.
That was weirdo behavior. Next line.
You know what really matters?
Alright, I think I got the tears out.
No, you got scared of me.
I mean, this is narration, isn't this you, Orange?
No!
Yeah.
It switched over to Angie!
Oh, shit, sorry, I had a thing covering up part of the dialogue. I thought this was narration.
What?!
I'm having to do some... I gotta move some stuff around on my desktop at the moment.
Okay, I'm good. What really matters is whether I can truly live and prosper in the truth that is the now. If I truly live and prosper, that is the truth. Back when I only ever tried to see the truth of the past, I was nothing more than a ghost trapped in that past. Since that time, I haven't lived a single day. Now, I truly understand. This is what the real truth is. I will live. And I've remembered how much everyone loved me. Because I was young and selfish, I didn't even remember until now. The kind grandpa who always spoiled me. The entertaining aunts and uncles. All of the kind and gentle servants. Oh no, there go the ducks again!
Read through your tears! Read through the tears!
I will! I also read the line. And yet, because I was young and cool, I never tried to remember any of that. Everyone got distorted by my irresponsible imagination, and I completely forgot the truth. Now, I can remember clearly, and I understand. That Halloween quiz party certainly was an illusion. It never happened. However, didn't we do all kinds of fun things when the relatives gathered? Things that were no more or less fun than that party. For the first time since the start of the game, I went up to each one of them to greet them, thank them, and apologize. To thank Grandpa for always pampering me. To thank my aunts and uncles. To thank the cousins for always playing with me, even though I was so selfish. And I thanked and apologized to the illusions. I think I said something horrible to Sakutaro once in the past. And to Maria One-chan, too. Maria One-chan, you really were a witch, weren't you?
I've always been a witch. You approached that level yourself once, didn't you?
No. I never really understood. Pitiful Maria One-chan with her pitiful magic. That's all I thought of it. So, I couldn't pick up a fragment of happiness. Couldn't even find one. You told me that yourself once, One-chan.
It can't be helped. It takes two to create a universe. I had Beato, but you were all alone.
No. If I had called Aunt Ava Mom, then it would have been the two of us. I'm sure I would have been able to create a new world with the same magic you used, Maria One-chan. All of this is my fault. The message bottles I threw away half-jokingly distorted your future and wore you down. I bear responsibility for that. Yeah. Seriously. It's all because of your message bottles. Because of that, people started copying you and making forgeries, growing the story into something crazy. However, the message bottles thrown in by Beato did not name a specific culprit. One of the forgers wrote a plausible forgery that had Ushimiya Ave as the culprit, and it spread like a wildfire. Even though I should have known better than anyone else that it was impossible, I accepted it in the end. It isn't your fault, Beato. No matter how many people around me had baseless suspicions, there should have been only one truth inside me. And yet, so easily, I abandoned my warm memories of you all and surrendered my heart to them. No. If I had not thrown away the message bottles, the future of Akejiwa would never have become the center of such bizarre misconceptions. I bear responsibility for it all. True. That's right, it really is your fault after all. Put it that way, it's a little irritating. You do have your share of the blame as well. Yeah, you're right. You were at fault, and so was I. Still, it'd be stupid for us to attack each other. After all, I'm a witch of the future. You're the witch of the past. I should be using that magic to build my future. We both bear responsibility in some way. But neither of us has the right to blame the other.
I knew. You'd be able to understand Mariage Sorcier's teaching, Anji.
That's right. As the final member of Mariage Sorcier, it's my responsibility to pass on One-chan's magic.
My magic can make everyone happy.
Indeed. You have both pure magic and wicked magic at your fingertips. That's true. Magic can change completely depending on your heart. If you aren't properly guided, you can't use magic properly. And proper magic can bring people happiness.
It is a wonderful thing. Bringing people happiness is the sole reason that witches wield magic. I am very pleased to know that those teachings have been passed down through the endless witches, all the way to the final witch.
Sorry for failing to pass it down myself at all.
The witch of the future, Anji Beatrice. I will now retract your expulsion from Mariage Sorcier.
Ryu! I knew Angie would come back.
Congratulations, Anji-sama.
I thought I knew what the time we spent traveling together meant, and yet Sorry. I'm so sorry. Witches cannot create a universe unless there are two. In the future, you will be alone. Will you really be okay? Yeah. I'll be okay. I'm not alone anymore. I'll live. With everyone. And I'll live in the future. I swear to keep living, so that I can pass on the magic of Mariage Sorcier. One-chan's magic has saved me. There are a lot of people out there who need magic. As the final witch of Mariage Sorcier, it's my duty to teach it the right way and save as many people as I can. Will you truly be able to do so? Of course. I have the power to do it. There's the golden magic that my predecessor, Ava Beatrice, spent so much time building. I've inherited all of that. Right? Well, if only my held in held out a little longer, I was planning to spend all of it on myself.
laughed, tears poured from her eyes again. Everyone surrounded Angie with their kind, warm smiles. Battler stood alone in the rose garden maze, letting the rain quietly fall on him. After searching for some time, Angie found him.
Oni-chan.
Angie, who was feeling guilty, sensed anger in her brother's expression. So she thought he was going to hit her. She shut her eyes. However, her brother touched her softly. He patted her head gently. Hey. The truth wasn't anything important, was it?
No, it wasn't. Even though you were here, waiting for me to come home in such a warm world, I had my back turned the whole time.
You learned the truth.
Yeah.
So, any hopes you had of someone miraculously surviving and coming back have been crushed, huh? However, you have a new mission, a hope for living in the future.
You kept that precious hope safe for me. I was the one who opened the box and let it get away. It turned out worse than Pandora's box. A truth I didn't need to know flew out of the box, along with all my hopes, leaving nothing but empty space.
It's okay. It's open now, and that's that. If it's empty inside, that means it won't fester. After all, false hopes can sometimes bring you pain. Balor laughed heartily. Then with that same smile on his face, he told her, "We're already dead."
Yeah.
You've lived 12 years on the hope that we might still be alive. Not anymore. That's over and done with.
Yeah. I know. Starting now, I'll step forward into a new life.
Be it to put Rakenjima in the cat box. The next witch, Aunt Ava, guarded the lid of that cat box with her whole life. You, the witch after her, opened the lid. But so what? Why does the truth of the past matter?
Yeah. From now on, I'll truly live. And I'll make my own personal truth prosper.
Good luck. Final Witch of Mariage Sorcière. I've read Maria's grimoire. It's a great book. There's some really good stuff written in it. Even the Bible needs a translator. So, Maria's grimoire probably needs one too. You'll be that translator. You gotta teach kids who are in the position you once were that your mission is the new witch of the future.
Yeah.
I'm gone. But I'll always be behind you, watching over you.
I know. And not just you. Everyone else too.
All of us will love you forever. Don't forget that.
I won't forget. Not ever. And that's for certain.
Angie leapt in the battler's chest and sobbed. Humans are sad creatures who can learn, but not unlearn. This isn't even my dog. We're fucking watching some other family's dog. She had already learned. It may have been a cruel, terrifying, merciless thing, capable of destroying even the miracle called hope. However, there was still one tiny fragment left gripped in her hand. Her family's love. If she can just remember that and hold it tight, then surely, Angie will, oh for fuck's sake.
Is it time to eat the spray bottle?
You know what to do.
Orange is going to...
Also, I'm gonna be real. Before Orange said anything, I thought that was cons.
I also
My
thought it was...
dog behind me is itching his bum. Remus!
I closed my fucking door. That should hopefully be a buffer. At any rate, if she can just remember that and hold it tight, then surely Angie will live on. Oh, for fuck's sake. She'll be able to stop before taking that single step into nothingness. Also, the Rekenjima cat box hasn't been opened completely. You've just taken a peek at what's inside. So, you must be the lid yourself. And, this time, you'll protect everyone inside the cat box. Me and Dad and Kirie-san, the cousins and the uncles and the aunts, grandfather and the servants, and all of the illusions.
Yeah. This time, I have to protect everyone.
Then shouldn't you hurry it up a bit?
Sound of popcorn being eaten rang out from behind a rose bush. It was Lambda Delta.
I think you know this already. But Byrne is just about to hold a big party for the Book of the Single Truth. She's gathered beings from heaven and from hell, from the spirit world, and from parallel worlds. She announces what's inside the book in a place like that, it'll be too late, won't it?
I'm going. I gave Burncastle that key. It's my responsibility. I'll go and take it back.
The City of Books, huh? There's no way for us to get in. There's a barrier around that place.
She gave me this. With it, I can come and go as I please. What an idiot. She forgot to collect it when she threw me away.
Angie fished through her pockets and there was a jingling sound. It was a bell with a blue ribbon tied to it.
And that's it. One of those temporary entry passes that you get when you turn in your invitation. As long as you have that, at least one of you will be able to get into the City of Books. Jesus. Well, as long as someone takes you across the Sea of Fragments first.
Sorry.
It's fine.
Lambda Delta. Take me to the City of Books.
Angie.
This is my way of taking responsibility. I'll see to it that the Book of the Single Truth isn't made public.
Are you serious? That place is a den of monsters among monsters. Now that you've lost Baron's protection, you'll be weaker than a fly. Squish. The end.
The bell was snatched from Angie's hands. Lambda Delta. I'll go. I just need you to get me in there. After all, I'm an empty creature, unable to exist outside the cat box. Angie, on the other hand, must live on in the future. And you're a person with a future too. So I'll go. I have nothing to lose.
No! This is my responsibility, my way of making up for what I did. If I don't do it myself, the future won't change at all, and I won't be able to save any future cat boxes.
Andrew tried to snatch the key from Battler's hand. But Battler had no intention of giving it up. The two of them were grimly serious, but from the sidelines looked like an ordinary squabble between two close siblings. Landelota watched this conversation and shrugged. Watched this conversation. If she just took one of them to the City of Books, she wouldn't have to make any enemies, and there was no risk to her. All she cared about was which one would make the story more interesting. Nothing else. But then she finally noticed.
Hold on. Hold on a second, you two. Hold on!
What's your problem? Save it for later!
We're having an important sibling discussion here.
Okay, first off, let go of each other's hands. Battler's holding the bell now, right? Jump, Battler.
Jump? Like this?
You next, Angie. Try jumping.
Why the hell should I? Huh? Why?
If Battler was holding the bell, where did that sound come from? Angie hurriedly searched through her pockets. And another blue ribbon bell came out from a different pocket than the first one. These are the same, aren't they?
No way. Why are there two? I was only given one of them.
I don't know why. At any rate, you've got two bells that'll get you into the City of Books. Now I don't have to sit here and watch you two play around with each other anymore.
The pair of them gripped their bells and looked at each other.
From the very beginning. This game has belonged to the two of you. There's just been a slight change in in who the opponent is. This isn't a competition between you two.
Whoops.
It's a fight between Battler and Angie. Battler and Angie, who want to close the lid on the cat box. And Burn, who wants it opened. Angie's moved from Burn's team to Battler's team, and that's all there is to it.
Lambda Delta. Take us to the City of Books.
Okay, I'm just taking you there, got it? After that, I'm done being anything but a spectator. I just want to have the best seats to see exactly how you fight, what you do, and how Burn makes mincemeat out of you all.
Lambda Delta. Thanks. Well, that was a roller coaster of emotions.
Yes.
Yeah.
My head hurts.
Yes.
Dun, 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 dun. Shannon and Cannon stood guard in front of the door to the Golden Land. They glared quietly and fearlessly at the eerie fleet of ships across the horizon. Shannon slowly lifted her hands. Cannon raised his right hand, and a red blade appeared there.
Stop right there. I forbid you to come any closer.
If you do, I'll kill you.
They could see a single dinghy leaving the fleet and approaching them. They couldn't tell if it was a messenger or the first wave. Shannon and Cannon watched it cautiously. At the head of that dinghy, rowed by goats, stood Erica. Where the heck did she get that thing from? She was trying to act the part of the fleet leader. Erica was glaring at them and smiling aggressively, though it appeared to be a pirate hat in her head.
That icon is I'm sorry, but that icon at the top is a cat wearing a pirate's hat.
Oh yeah.
That's
a cat.
great.
I wonder whose fleet she belongs to.
I've come to deliver our terms. There will be room for negotiation. Please open the gate.
Shannon and Kenan looked at each other. Erica was the one offering this deal. It wasn't likely to be anything agreeable. However, if they turned her away, the attack would probably begin at once. Since they were in a firmly inferior position, they wanted to buy time by any means they could. At Shannon's nod, Cannon erased his sword. The Golden Land was filled with a hard downpour accompanied by occasional thunder. Erica, who realized that this weather spoke for their emotions, smiled even more boldly. At the center of the Golden Land was the arbor surrounded by the Golden Rose Garden. A large number of humans and illusions were there, arguing about something. Even without asking, it was easy to guess the nature of the debate by their anguished expressions. After all, in this life-or-death situation, they didn't have many options they could take. In the direction Erica was being led, Bieto stood waiting, accompanied by the Chester Sister Corps. When Erica, accompanied by her goat guard, saw Bieto, she gave a bow that only appeared graceful. Bieto followed suit and gave a graceful bow of the sort that was rarely seen from her.
I am Beatrice, Master of the Golden Land and the Golden and Endless Witch. Announce yourself.
As though implying that she was more than happy to go through with the farce, Bieto introduced herself boldly and requested that Erica do the same.
We have been dispatched from the Great Witch of Theater going, drama, and spectating noble city of carefully selected books. I am the Witch of Truth, the commander of the library fleet, which is committed to bestowing honor and protection to books. My name is Furuto Erica. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Shall we get down to business?
You want to celebrate. We of the library fleet dedicated to offering honor and protection to books have come to bring good news to you all. First, I would like to announce that after careful selection, the City of Books has acknowledged and accepted the game board created by the Endless Witch Beatrice as a great and honorable book.
Oh, that is indeed a great honor.
That game board is profoundly entertaining and original masterpiece, worthy of a close study. It deserves to be released for all of our subjects to read. And so the City of Books has ordered us to grant eternal honor and protection to this game board.
This is all quite long and boring. Get to the point.
We demand that you hand the entirety of this game board over to the Honorable City of Books. Doing so will give this game board and its pieces the greatest honor and protection imaginable.
And if we refuse?
You'll be prosecuted for the crime of monopolizing a great cultural artifact that ought to be shared among all of our subjects. We are here to notify you of the impending assault, one which will be waged by us to protect the benefits that are rightfully property of all subjects, not yours alone.
Are you not concerned that the shared property of all subjects might be destroyed in this assault of yours?
According to the Great Library Protective Regulations, when a criminal guilty of monopolization of a cultural artifact raises that objection, as you have now done, the Executive Fleet may prioritize arrest over its protective duties, as long as they obtain permission from the Great Court. Of course, we have already obtained the Great Court's written authorization.
I imagine the word arrest is closely followed by dead or alive. Am I right?
My. I'm impressed that you can read those tiny letters. Now enough fooling around. Let's hear your answer.
What do we have to gain by accepting your conditions?
Both of us will be saved a troublesome task. Furthermore, your brave and noble act will be recorded as a glorious final chapter in the City of Books. You do understand, right? You have no chance of winning. This isn't even a fight. It's just you sitting there at the bottom of a well, while people throw stones at you.
So you claim that I have the power to choose nothing except how the library witches will record my final moments.
The rest depends on you. If you treasure this game board, you ought to surrender. The pieces will be treasured by our many loyal subjects for all time, and will be able to continue their roles on to eternity.
In other words, the tragedies I created at will shall repeat furthermore.
How is that any different from what you have been doing so far?
It isn't. Is there anything else? If not, allow me to give you my answer.
Go ahead.
Erica tensed slightly. After all, this was the great Lady Beatrice she was dealing with. She might shout, "Here is my answer!" dramatically and do something crazy. They say a cornered rat is the most likely to bite a cat. Furthermore, Erica had intel telling her that the great Lady Lambda Delta, Witch of the Senate, had been spending time inside the Golden Land, though only as a theater goer. Erica needed to carry out this noble task that her master had assigned her, and she had to carry it out perfectly. If she was honest, she wanted to make Beato raise a white flag, even by trickery if necessary. So even though this was a farce, she held back from giving it any unneeded provocation. She gulped and tried to size Beato up. And then, with a pathetic expression on her face, Beato let out a sigh.
I'll be honest. The truth is, I'm tired.
What do you mean by that?
My game has already achieved its purpose when my fight with Battler ended. And yet, for various reasons, the game has repeated itself several times since then. To be perfectly honest, I am tired of it.
To be honest, that isn't the answer I was expecting at all. So you want to surrender? Really?
Simply put, I don't care either way. It doesn't matter whether I surrender or whether we're vanquished by you now. I simply wish to have the curtain closed on this game board and tale regardless of who does the deed.
Of course, that was a lie. She knew she couldn't win even if she fought. For now, their best option was to play for time. They would fix Erica's attention to this spot, and during that time, Battler and the others would steal the key from Burncastle while she was completely off her guard. Once they had the key, they would return to the Golden Land, use that key to let Angie open the door to the future, and see her off. That was their goal line. Everything that happened after that would be inside the cat box. Angie would live on in the future with hope. No one would know whether Beato and the others were alive or dead. That was enough. The only strategy that Beato and the others could use to achieve this was to buy time.
If you do surrender, maybe a bit of an anticlimax, but it will save me a lot of trouble.
But, well, it is not quite so simple. You see, and this is just between you and me. As you may know, the great Lady of the Delta is staying here. She is pushing us to show her a dramatic climax.
That's a pretty cruel whim to force on someone. How are a few wimpy people in what's basically already a solved puzzle box supposed to fight against our fleet? With its hundreds of thousands of troops.
Very true, very true. The gap in strength is overwhelming. We told her that it wouldn't even be a fight, but... Well, Lady Lambda Delta didn't listen and just said she would bring some of her friends to support us. So we should fight with everything we had.
Lady Lambda Delta's friends. Unlike Burncastle, who kept to herself, Lambda Delta had many friends. Her friends and patrons were either territory lords of great influence who came from all over the place, or else monsters that had become legends in their own lifetimes. In all seriousness, her so-called fan club had enough size and influence that it could have suddenly declared itself a separate country in the Sea of Fragments without anyone being overly surprised.
This is quite a problem for us, with Lady Lambda Delta all ready for action. Without any regard for us, she keeps calling up friends and acquaintances on the phone from all over the place, telling them to come over.
Of course, this was all a lie. Lambda Delta had turned into a small candy comet and was now shooting toward the city of books with Battler and Angie in tow. So to make sure that Lambda Delta's and Battler's absence were not noticed, everyone was crowded around the arbor, pretending to argue furiously with each other. Oh, B, you want to be a Lucifer?
Butler-sama, give us your decision!
There we go.
We, the Seven Sisters of Purgatory, prepared for death at any time.
I firmly oppose taking a last stand that would lead to our deaths. What could possibly be gained by dying?
How can you be such a coward? It is inconceivable that we should live on in shame as prisoners.
There are times when the mere fact of being alive gives one opportunities.
Yes, indeed. A short temper makes a bad leader.
Battler, if you call yourself a man, now's the time to act like one. The great Lambda Delta Sama is even willing to help out, right?
I agree. These are the times when a man has to make rough decisions.
Oh, tough decision.
In many cases, the timing of a decision is more valuable than the decision itself.
If we surrender, the demon might not be violent.
You can't be serious. Weren't you supposed to be a male lion? Where are you fixed now?
Ooh. If death awaits us regardless, I'd rather die as a wolf than a pig.
Are you stupid? Are you saying you want to die like a dog?
It all depends on the strength and of the support Lambda Delta-san can provide.
Lambda Delta-san. Are your friends really strong enough to win against them? It's a bet. We'll either surrender and die, or we'll lose a bet and die.
Interesting. In that case, our chances for survival must be higher if we take that bet. An honorable surrender will surely cause the great court to show mercy.
They're backed by the Senate, aren't they? Sure, they'll. Sorry, the resolution is way too fucked for me to make out that next word. Okay, there we go. Sure, they'll hem and how, but we'll all see the guillotine at the end.
Anyways, let's all calm down. Cool your heads. I'm opposed to letting emotions control us. Our emotions control us.
Why don't you calm down first? We have another possible strategy: mutually assured destruction. We might not be able to win, but if we can convince them that we plan on taking enough of them with us, that might force our opponents to show restraint.
So, basically, if they're determined to attack, we'll let them know we aren't going down without some damage first! No, the Lambda Delta's friends are incredible! She knows lots and lots of witches, beasts, demons, and gods, all of which have really, really huge legends and histories. Even if those ships outnumbered the stars in the sky, Lambda Delta's friends would wipe them out with a single blast. Kapow!
Will this really work? She hasn't seen their act yet, has she?
Terracotta!
It is working. You must speak more forcefully as well. Do not worry about politeness.
Enough, you gutless swine! Do you lack the backbone to finish with a bang?
Hold on! Don't forget that some of us are opposed to fighting. I think we should surrender!
What? Good! You loser-loving fool!
Master, strength!
Well, it looks like the debate has gotten quite heated.
So, will we surrender? Or we fight back? Which will it be? Nobody knows!
He knows!
So close. Personally speaking, I would like to surrender. If my role will end either way, I would prefer that my game board be preserved the way I made it. I could not bear to have Lady Lendadella continue to use it however she pleases.
We don't want that either. I came here to fight you, but I'm no match for Lady Lambda Delta's friends.
Secretly, Erica was getting worried by these complicated developments, and she was relieved that she hadn't pushed too hard earlier on. She wanted to flatter Beato and end this with a bloodless takeover. Even the great Lady Lambda Delta probably wouldn't seriously think of picking a fight with the Senate. Her motive was probably something much more trivial. A simple desire to watch the game board's final fireworks from a front row seat. However, she really did have some fireworks of her own prepared. It's at least possible that this could turn into a ruckus that Erica would have no chance of quelling. Beato saw all of this going on in Erica's mind. So she continued to act with an even more pathetic expression on her face. Even among witches, her acting ability was top-notch.
Might you be willing to lend us some of your strength, so that my game board's beauty will be preserved? Truly, it was a great error to invite that busybody as a guest.
I understand. I'd really like to end this quietly too, if I can. So, how can we work together?
For some time now, we have been arguing over whether we should surrender or resist. I intend to return to them and propose that we surrender and ask Lady Lambda Delta not to do anything that might destroy the game board.
That would please me very much. So, what should I do?
I would like you to guarantee that we have the necessary time to debate the matter. After all, your ships are surrounding and pressuring us at the moment. Everyone is so tense at the thought that we might be attacked at any time that they're falling apart. So if you guarantee that we will have enough time to discuss this amongst ourselves, everyone will surely be able to keep their composure during that time. Furthermore, I will have enough time to convince Lady Lambda Delta.
Very well. About how long do you need?
Would you be gracious and avoid giving a specific time limit? If a time limit is imposed, everyone will just fall apart again as the limit nears, possibly leading to a more radical decision.
I'm not normally very gaseous, but you have a point there. The most important thing about a fuse is whether it's lit or not. The length of a fuse is a trivial matter.
In that case, will you give us the time we need?
Understood. I guarantee you that you'll have time to discuss it. However, that time won't be unlimited. I'll wait here and listen in on your discussion.
Well, as far as that goes, it is true that your mere presence here has everyone on edge.
I have already made my concessions. Isn't it your turn now?
There was some distance away from the arbor, but it was just close enough to give a general idea of what was going on. It's far enough that they might be able to hide the fact that Battler and Lambda Delta were missing. Just far enough for them to convincingly act like there was a white-hot argument in gridlock. If it were possible, they would rather have kept Erica at an even greater distance. They had planned to set up a seat of honor for their guests at one of the far corners of the garden maze.
Is there some sort of problem?
Okay. Don't make such a scary face. In that case, please wait here. This is a confidential conference. So you must, come no closer than this line.
Beato drew a line in the ground with her foot.
Help them see me in a good light. If it's clear that I have obtained a generous agreement from you, that will be a powerful weapon in my hands in the debate.
Can I get a chair?
Yes, of course. Chiesto troops, bring Lady Erica a chair and an umbrella at once. And a hand towel, too. I'll wipe it nice and clean for you.
Milady, have there been any developments in our negotiations?
If anything's certain, it's that I'll be winning this year's prize for Best Actress.
That's our bitch, Asana. All we can do is argue fiercely, squabble amongst ourselves, and make it look like things will turn for the worse if negotiations break down.
Indeed. Is yet another fight to support Battler's group. Get yourselves ready, everyone! Let us argue and insult with all we have. Got it?
Yes, Master.
The sight of Goda, his cheeks red and swollen from being pinched, made everyone snort. They quickly covered their mouths and put fingers to their lips. Then everyone nodded at each other, and then the fake argument resumed. Eric was sitting in the chair that the Chest Sisters had brought her, filling a goat in on the details of their discussions. The goats would probably return and tell the rest of the fleet. The fleet would tell Burncastle, and Burncastle might think of some plan to deal with the situation or give new orders. The conversation with the goat ended and it spun around. It would return to the dinghy and report on this to the fleet. It slipped out from a rose bush and passed through the garden maze, heading toward the door that led out. Is it really okay to let that goat reach the boats? If it goes back, Erica's report will reach Burncastle's ears. The Chester Sisters spoke through a secret channel that only they could use. 2 seconds, yeah. Wouldn't even be a sound, yeah.
You're just about to leave Erica's sphere of awareness. Estimated 10 seconds before it reaches... Oh, fuck. Discord, please. Estimated 10 seconds before it reaches the goat boatman sphere. The assassination can be carried out successfully.
Lady Beatrice, your permission to assassinate, if you please. We can do it. Erica will sense nothing.
You do not have my permission. Did you think an envoy would leave their ship without setting a time limit? The fleet probably has orders to attack if it isn't contacted within a certain period of time. Let that goat go.
0-0. Understood.
The goat passed through the door. After receiving a silent bow from Shannon and Cannon, it got on the dinghy and returned to the fleet. The fleet would probably follow Erica's orders and stand by until an attack order was given. That gave the residents of the Golden Land a chance to assassinate Erica. But of course that wasn't going to be possible, practically speaking. She was Burncastle's greatest underling, and a witch who controlled truth. Tricking her was all they could hope for. Anything else would be overconfident. Why don't you all have a seat too?
You need have no worries about us.
Then he hinted that she had just been talking about assassinations. 00 stood upright with her hands clasped behind her back.
Oh, it's 00, it's not 00.
Yeah, it's just 00. Surrender or resist until the end. The false argument resumed. Just how far and how long would they be able to trick Erica? Yes. The final fight for the Golden Land had already begun.
Butler. You can count on us to handle things here. It's time for you and Angie to take back this final game.
This is one freakishly huge library.
I've heard that each one of these books has a tale like ours inside it.
After all, this is a world of gods.
You can tell at a glance that it's no place for scum like you to be in, right?
After passing through the barrier, the three of them had finally made it inside the City of Books. For some time they were overcome by the countless otherworldly sights before them, but they quickly remembered their original objective.
Are you listening? First off, don't get the wrong idea. You two came here to fight Burn. But that doesn't mean walking right up to her and attacking her directly, okay?
We know.
In the first place, you were only able to fight the Great Beatrice on an even footing because the game board protected you with the rules that made it that way. If you leave the game board, you're more like something that'll leave a small stain on the palm of her hand when she swats you. Don't forget that, got it?
Makes sense. This isn't the game board we're familiar with.
We didn't come here for a fight. We came here to take something back with us.
Exactly. You're here to prevent the Book of the Single Truth from being exposed to the public. That's your only goal, your only fight. You better not be confused about that.
Battle and Angie nodded to show their understanding.
The Book of the Single Truth is being displayed openly in the middle of the party, so stealing it'll be impossible. However, bringing the key is going to be a big part of the ceremony.
Which means the key must be stored in a different place.
But there's no guarantee that it'll be undefended.
After that, it's all up to your luck. I hope it's good for your sakes. Hide!
Landelta pulled her head back from around the corner of a bookshelf. The others hurriedly followed suit. In the distance, they saw emerald green lights floating about and leaving trails.
Oh, jeez, that gets me every time.
Those are Burns' cat familiars. She's got them patrolling all over the place today.
Did she guess that we would come?
No. Don't forget how huge this place is. Those are staff cats, looking out for idiot guests who have gotten lost so they can be taken to the lost children's area.
And that's not where we want to go at the moment.
It looks like one's about to find us. Should we take them out?
I'd advise against it. Maybe if this were some other territory or game board. But this is Burns' home base. That single cat should make you as scared as being surrounded by a crowd of vicious beasts. Plus, they're cats. They've got good senses, and they'll call for their friends. If they spot you, you better be prepared for what happens next. I'm not going to save you. Just getting you here has been troublesome enough. If I surrender, I might get off the hook by being stripped naked and thrown down the worst crappy fragment for just a century. How wonderful. I think I can sympathize with Burns' feelings a bit now.
Landelta wasn't laughing. Most likely, even if this punishment she spoke of was pretty optimistic. Even though she kept saying that she won't help anyone anymore, she's already risking everything. Why?
Isn't it obvious?
Landelta brushed her hair back and grinned.
It's because you're gonna show me the perfect happy ending.
Lambda Delta hugged their heads at the same time, making their foreheads bonk together.
You better show me for certain.
Yeah. We'll certainly show you a happy ending.
We'll certainly take back this cat box.
Let's go. This way, and swim quietly.
The three of them swam out into the darkness of the deep ocean trench that was in the City of Books. Not expecting lyrics, holy shit.
Yeah! Banger! Okay.
In that massive, vast trench of bookshelves, they vanished into the darkness almost immediately. The library defied the common sense of the human world. The City of Books. The world city was no exaggeration. And it was filled with the green, glowing eyes of Burncastle's countless cat familiars. Trying to count them would be almost as crazy as counting all the fish in the ocean. They formed schools that swam all over the place, on the lookout for any fools who might miraculously have managed to slip in and disturb their master's party. If the pilot group was found, the cats would report it instantly. They would probably form a pack, open their large mouths and swallow them in a single gulp. There would be no fight. In this place, Battler's party would be swallowed like tiny fishies if they were discovered. The warships surrounding the Golden Land were, well, more than 100 strong. Each of them had dozens of cannons pointing at the door to the Golden Land. The goats that packed the decks of the ships numbered in the tens of thousands. Each of them carried enough antimatter toxin in their fangs to completely deny one of the game board pieces. This time they would chew apart and eat away everything. The crowd of goats unleashed their rotten breath and dangling drool. At that time, Erica, who wanted to avoid trouble and hoped Beata would be able to convince Lambda Delta to surrender peacefully, was sitting alone, calmly enjoying the tea Rona they had poured for her. I'm a bit low? Oh, okay. Unfortunate. Okay, give me a second. Alright. How do I sound?
Sounds good.
I will listen to the stream.
Yeah, just let me know.
I am significantly louder than you.
Oh, really? Well... Alright, how about now?
I don't know. It might be fine.
The bigger problem is the background noise. I have to kind of keep my gain distinct enough so that nothing gets picked up. I'll just turn you guys down a little bit. That should fix it.
Yeah, I am noticeably louder though. Whenever I was hearing myself.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, this will be better. Of course, even Erica wasn't planning to give them an unlimited time. In her mind, she had already decided to allow them 3 yawns before stepping in.
This actually isn't so bad. Getting to watch Beato try to convince everyone as they call her a coward and a loser.
Indeed, it is impressive that our short-tempered mistress has managed to become such an adult. Coo.
What's so funny?
Oh, pardon me. Are you ready for another cup? Please feel free to enjoy our collection of great teas from across the globe at your leisure.
Lambda is leading Beato's side into an all-out resistance. And she's gathering her friends. Is this a joke?
The messenger cat shook its head and then continued to dispassionately meow its report.
Even Lambda isn't that stupid. She should know what it means to have allies or enemy.
Even as she said this, Berncastle was chewing away at her thumbnail.
Mm.
Oh my god.
Despite how she looks, that kid has a lot of strange friends. And they're all idly curious, crazy monsters. Even so, to take up arms against the Senate.
It was possible. She could think of many monsters among Lambda Delta's friends who would love to see a losing side gain support and make a comeback victory. Before she realized that the finger Berncastle was biting was covered with sweat.
She could do it. She really is a moron sometimes after all. Get me a phone, quickly.
The cat leapt away, then flew back with a phone and receiver.
I'm going to call over friends. I have to warn them to not get involved in this stupid game. Phone numbers. Why don't I have any phone numbers saved in here? Oh, right. I have no friends. How am I supposed to greet people over the phone? Does hello work? I can't say that either.
The Golden Key was being kept in a room inside the City of Books. However, perhaps a room wasn't a fitting word to use. It was large enough that you could probably fit 2 domed baseball stadiums in it if you tried. Even so, in the city, these were called rooms. Floating in the center of this vast room were several sacred magic circles. Wrapped around by these magic circles were Angie's gold key. Surrounding these were countless emerald green stars, which looked like a slowly revolving planetarium. The eyes that numbered the same as the stars were all glaring in the same direction.
Come on, don't look at me like that. I'm on your side, did you forget?
One of the cats cat paddled toward Ava, meowing that no one was allowed to enter this room.
Lady Berncastel has ordered me to guard that key. So, why don't you leave this to me and get lost?
After looking at each other with suspicious eyes, the cats glared at Ava again, as though saying that they hadn't heard of any such order.
By the way, cats have pretty soft bodies, don't they? Dear to chew.
Ava lifted up her golden staff, and the floor and the ceiling of the vast room were covered with red lines. The reaction from the cats was lightning fast. They realized instantly that this was hostile behavior. The entire emerald green constellation writhed and became a single massive deep-sea fish, which charged at Ava with its cavernous mouth open wide. However, at the same time, the red lines on the floor and ceiling, the massive spiderweb, pinched itself together and crushed the fish. Twisted it, and spun around and around, and compressed into the size of a small ball. Then, the ball-shaped thing burst open, leaving nothing left. It all happened in an instant.
If only you just give up and die.
The witch hunters were holding a convention in the event hall. After all, when Oshirmiya Ava's diary was opened, the endless cat box would be lost, along with the countless imagined stories that had entertained them for so long. So, this final conversation was a time for them to air their best theories one last time. While the opening of the cat box did give them a slightly lonely feeling, they couldn't contain their excitement as intellectual rapists, not when they knew that the Rokenjima mystery was finally going to be solved once and for all. If that box were opened, a single girl would be hurt. However, their jaws and fangs couldn't care less. The witch-hunting goat nobles kept licking their lips, wanting to chew apart the guts of Beatrice's cat box as soon as they could. Seated upon a solemn throne so tall as a pillar, Featherin listened in on the nonsense being spewed from the mouths of the goat nobles. A black cat wearing a cape suddenly appeared and whispered something into Featherin's ear.
No, that is fine. Everything is going according to my plot. You need not to inform my Miko.
The cat bowed humbly and vanished. Featherin raised her wine glass high and laughed as she looked through it to the light of the chandelier, which was as beautiful and majestic as the moon.
This should be enough of a thank you for your excellent reading, child of man. Well now, just who is weaving this tale? Am I for you? Or are you for me?
What do you think?
A trap? As Balor's group moved forward, darting from bookshelf to bookshelf and avoiding the eyes of the cats, they found something strange. Written with a faintly glowing red substance was a letter and an arrow. K. That's what it looked like to them. You think K means key?
Those marks only appeared when we got close. This is a message aimed at us.
Is there anyone here besides us who'd be willing to help?
I didn't think we had any allies. Anne traced the red arrow with her finger. It was written with a very faint, then thin strings that had been tied together. The red stuff, which stuck to your finger and tore away like cotton candy, had to be...
There is someone on our side. Someone who's always been on my side.
How can you be so sure?
Yeah. I get it too now. Lambda Delta. We can trust the person who wrote this. Should probably be able to guide us to the key safely.
Are you sure? Then let's go. We don't have time to be standing around.
Let's go. Thank you, Mom.
In the arbor, the argument over whether they should surrender or fight continued without signs of stopping. Every now and then, a small fight would break out, which fortunately ended up delaying Erica's third yawn. However, they didn't know how long they would have to continue this fake fight. Keeping this high level of tension going was physically stressful. The instant they tired out and the tension faded, Erica would probably demand a verdict. They had to constantly appear to be trapped and agitated. It was a battle of weariness and tension. This was their fight. Erica waited patiently. Now that she had tired of tea, she was watching Ronave perform some magic tricks, and seemed to be enjoying herself considerably. Even Ronave, who was usually aloof from the world, was fighting. If Erica got bored and had a tantrum, an all-out attack would probably begin at once. Also putting his life on the line in the fight to buy time for Battler's group. As the fiercest leader in the argument, Beata wore out the quickest. She breathed heavily, and her face was so pale it seemed that she might faint at any moment.
Beato, hang in there. Your body won't hold out much longer at this rate.
Pretend to suddenly burst into tears and rest for a while. We'll pick up the slack. I am still fine. I can do this. One more push. Let's go. So who's up next? Who wants to be beaten down first?
In that case, I, Goda, am prepared! We must fight! It would be outrageous to accept defeat without fighting! As I said from the beginning, fighting with all we have is the only option!
Hold on a second. Erica suddenly rose from her chair. Rodova tried to coax her back into her seat, but Erica's attention was completely focused on those arguing under the arbor. I am the detective. My memory of what I hear is as good as a recording.
We are aware of that, of course. You were quite an excellent detective after all.
I'm not interested in you. Goda-san, I have one question for you.
Yes, ma'am. Have I done something to cause offense?
Hold on. Don't forget that some of us are opposed to fighting. I think we should surrender. Those are the first words I heard from you when I arrived here. However, you just said this. We must fight. It'd be outrageous to accept defeat without fighting. As I said from the beginning, fighting with all we have is the only option. That's what you said.
Well, did I say that?
Sam.
It is hardly strange for an opinion to change in the course of a discussion.
Indeed. All of us have been feeling doubts about our position lately, so an occasional change of opinion wouldn't be...
No. From beginning to end, no one has changed their opinion in this argument. Just now, Goda-san alone flipped his position 180 degrees. Furthermore, I can't imagine that any of the statements made by the rest of you were sufficient to make Goda-san switch his position.
Damn it, Goda!
You are fucked up now.
An uncomfortable, moist wind blew by. Everyone was silent, frozen as though time had stopped. In that silence, Eric continued with a blank expression. This can lead us to two conclusions. First, it may be that Goda-san has no opinion. Just a loser who will say anything that goes with the flow. Second, it may be that none of you have an opinion, and that this entire argument exists only for its own sake.
Aren't you overthinking this a bit? Here we are in a desperate debate that will decide our fate. I hardly think it's strange that some people would act abnormally under such pressure.
The only reasons for prolonging a meaningless argument is to buy time. Do you have anything to gain by buying time? Is it because Lady Land Delta's reinforcement will come? That can't be true either. After all, for some time now, I have heard all of you speak to Lady Land Delta and Battler occasionally, but not once have I heard them reply. Taking all of this into account, we have only one conclusion. That Lady Land Delta and Battler are not here now. The people have won Lady Land Delta's assistance with Lady Land Delta and Battler probably planning to sneak into the City of Books. In which case their goal is probably to steal back the Golden Key and Angie. And your plan was to act as a bait and buy time until their mission was complete. But because of Goda-san's single poorly chosen line, This level of reasoning is possible for Furdo Erica. What do you think, everyone? With a blank yet ruthless expression, Erica spoke these words and returned to her seat. Everyone else was frozen, unable to move. No one spoke. However, time was moving. As evidence, a bead of sweat dripped down from someone's cheek, fell and hit the table with a tiny yet audible splat. Then frozen time shattered, and at the same instant, the white chair Eric had been sitting on broke apart. The stakes of the Seven Sisters of Purgatory and the high-velocity rounds from the Chester Sister Corps in their chair at exactly the same time. And a few moments after that, the Erica sitting in that chair faded and vanished.
What the?
Damage. He's fast. Kill her.
In an instant, Erica had moved to a spot behind the chair. Her expression remained as blank as it had been before. But there was now something in her hand that hadn't been there. The 7 lightning strikes of the Seven Sisters raced at her once more. She batted all of them away with her scythe. That was one hell of a farce, but the tea was good. Thanks for the meal. Well, now it seems you've all been in agreement since the start. Allow me to ask for your answer once again. Erica lifted her left hand, the one that wasn't holding the scythe.
Very well. Allow me to answer. This golden land belongs to me, to all of us. If you enter with your shoes on, we'll give you a proper welcome. In other words, to put it elegantly,
all cannons prepare to fire. Target, the Golden Land.
wash your face in miso soup!
Shoot him dead! Let's fucking go! No!
Yes, thank you. See you around. Meow.
Berncastle set down the receiver and crossed the another name on a list of Lambda Delta's notable friends. Something was wrong. Not a single person she called had heard anything from Lambda Delta. They weren't just playing dumb. They really knew nothing about the strange ruckus Lambda Delta was trying to stir up. Even Berncastle was starting to suspect that something was fishy. Then a black cat leapt in and meowed a frantic report.
Lambda Delta and Battler aren't in the Golden Land?
She tore the phone receiver from its stand. The number she dialed was short, but probably an internal line. However, after listening to it ring several times, she slammed the receiver down again, finally managing to break the phone.
Gather all the cats who aren't busy. This is an emergency. The cats and I had guarding the key aren't responding. Lambda!
Berncastle, overwhelmed with emotion, kicked the table over. And the room finally grew bright. It was like a green sunlight. A bright green light waved about, giving the illusion that a green sun was rising and lighting the room up. It was a sign that Berncastle's army had been given an emergency summons.
Come, my kitties. It's time for a witch hunt! That kid always smells like candy, so you'll find her pretty fast. The first cat who finds her gets a human form and a witch's title.
What was out an emerald green nebula let out a roar of delight that shook the bookshelf cliff.
You suckers.
Something's chasing us.
What is that? A green sun?
Hide! They know!
The three of them frantically hid behind a bookshelf. The room with the key in it was straight ahead. They could see something glinting faintly in the darkness of that room. It was a glint different from anything else they had seen so far in the city. The color of the glint was gold. They had almost reached the golden key. However, if they went toward it, Burncastle would be right behind them, along with her vast swarm of familiars. In other words, they were trapped in a dead end. They already knew that the emerald green color came from the eyes of the familiars. However, it was almost beyond comprehension. This undulating green sun could be the same thing, and they could do nothing except stare in wide-eyed shock. The countless cats were passing through the ravine of bookshelves, from the very top to the very bottom. As they approached, they painstakingly checked the gaps between each book. However, even this mind-numbingly huge task was accomplished swiftly, thanks to the sheer number of familiars. With the speed of a gust of wind, they carefully checked every nook and cranny. There was no way to hide from this green sun. That would have been as foolish as trying to hide from water on a sinking ship.
Will we be able to hide until they pass us?
No. At this rate, we'll be found no matter where we go. Balor was just about to leap out from the shadows, but Landelta grabbed him by the collar an instant before.
Are you thinking of fighting?
No, but we'll be found if we just stand here. So we have to move forward. Need to reach the key as soon as possible.
You really think there won't be cats guarding the key? We'll just be pinched between them.
I believe in Aunt Ava. She's the one who guided us this far. I'm sure she took care of the guard cats too.
I agree. If we're gonna be found anyway, let's try and get there as fast as possible and grab the key. If we can just do that, no one will be able to open the book.
So you'll rush in there and grab the key. And then what? That place is a dead end, right? You realize there'll be nowhere to run, don't you?
We know that, but... Oh,
that
wait.
was my line.
Whoopsies.
We know that, but...
The key will be our trump card. It's vitally important to Burncastle too. If worse comes to worse, we might be able to use the key as a bargaining chip.
Bargain with Burn? You're insane.
But if we hide here, we'll definitely be found. In that case, I'll take a bet on the 1,000,000,000 chance. We'll get the key and have that be our trump card.
So you're praying for a miracle to win against the Witch of Miracles?
Picking a winner out of astronomically bad odds. That's the Assure Me as family magic.
I've got good eyesight, so let me enlighten you. Can you see those magic circles around the golden key? That's a simple barrier, but it's a pretty strong one. It'll break if you just touch it. But that's a sort of annoying seal that'll take exactly 1 hour to fade, whether a great witch or a lowly human does it. It's still over an hour before the ceremony begins. In other words, we won't even be able to touch the key unless we buy time for a whole hour.
When Aunt Ava took out the guard cat, she must have broken the magic circle too. It probably won't take an hour.
As far as I can see, the magic circle's still intact. Sorry to say it, but even if Ava did touch it, it was less than an hour ago.
Well, what's an hour? There's no way we can grab it if we manage to stick around that long.
Yeah. Sure, let's play tag for an hour. I'm used to getting chased around by thugs.
You two really are out of your minds. You're really planning to play tag against Burn and all of her cats?
If there's even a 1% chance.
You can be certain that we'll grab it. The difference in enthusiasm between the siblings, who had everything to lose, and Lambda Delta was immense. However, Lambda Delta was no coward. She was a great witch of the Senate. If she surrendered, she wouldn't be able to escape severe punishment, but she would be forgiven after a few hundred years. Why would she, after being thrown into a stormy sea, while clutching a buoy that could save only her, decide to throw that buoy away? No living person could be determined as those siblings, who were already fighting for their lives. No one could blame Lambda.
You two really are stupid, you know that? Oh, well. Why don't I tell you a plan that's got a bit more than a 1% chance of working? How does that sound?
The two siblings looked at each other. However, they both thought that any plan would be worth listening to, even if it would only raise their chances by 0.00001%.
A sacrifice. Baron's a cat, and she'll chase fleeing prey, but she'll also kill prey that doesn't flee. And only after toying with it first.
Cats are terrible people.
Still, if that's true, it'll be worth betting on.
Then let's have one sacrifice. We'll decide with rock, paper, scissors. Whoever loses has to go taunt Baron, then get laughed at and killed, all to buy as much time as possible. Does that work for you?
No need for rock, paper, scissors. I'll do it. You two go to the key room.
No way, Oni-chan. I'll do it. This is all my responsibility. I was the one who listened to Burn Castell and trusted her. So I've got a thing or two to say to her.
Both Ballard and Angie decided to be the sacrifice and wouldn't listen to the other.
See? You need rock, paper, scissors to decide, right? If you don't act quickly, we won't even have a chance to use this plan. They'll be here any moment.
Okay. Either Angie or I'll be the sacrifice. Then the Delta, you take whoever's left, steal the key, and take them back to the Golden Land.
I won't let you do it, Oni-chan.
Quit joking around. You gotta let me act like a big brother at least once in a while.
There's no time. Rock, paper, scissors, single round. I'm super paper, so of course we'll start with that. Got it, you two?
Fine.
No regrets, okay?
3, 2, 1, paper!
It really was a stupid kid's game of rock, paper, scissors. So they promised to start with paper. That was a chance to make a surprise attack and use something else. However, both Balor and Angie chose rock, and yet it wasn't a tie. Because in addition to those two rocks, was one person who chose scissors. After staring stupidly at their fists and those scissors, they looked at her.
Ah, dang. We were supposed to start with paper, so I'd figured I'd use scissors and beat you both. Guess I should have stuck with paper.
There had been no reason for Lambda Delta to join in on the game. This wasn't the time for a joke like that. Ballard and Angie, each trying to lose, chose rock. Lambda Delta alone chose scissors.
Don't tell me. You intentionally.
If you die, we can't even get back to the Golden Land. It doesn't count!
Well then, you can just use this.
Lambda Delta made a clenched fist, a palely glowing fragment appeared there, and she gave it to the pair of them. Ballard had seen one of those before. It was a magic fragment, like the one Erica had used before disappearing, which would allow one to cross the sea of fragments.
With that, you'll be able to return to the Golden Land. And anyway, I'm the best person for the job. You two probably wouldn't last a handful of seconds against Baron. If it's me, not only will an hour be no problem, but who knows, I might even win. And I owe her one. We gotta make this my victory and even the score. Still, away games are such a pain.
Lambda Delta pretended to complain as she stood up straight.
Anyways, see you in a bit. I guess a show-off like me couldn't stick to being a spectator after all. Sorry for stealing your time to shine. It's a sad thing I won't be able to watch your game until the end. But I've already been shown the script, so I'm not missing anything.
Lambda. Then with her broadest smile and a wink.
This is your happy ending. I've already figured out what happens next, so there'll be no need to watch. I'll see the two of you again. In the credit roll of your happy ending, that is.
Wait!
Lambda Delta snapped her fingers and the two of them turned into Conpetto candies. She picked them up, took aim at the glint of the golden key, and flicked them away. That way they should be able to reach the key without Burncastle noticing.
Dang, what terrible luck. What were the odds of them both playing rock against my scissors? Yeah, I know. It wasn't nice of me to test you like that. Sorry, you two.
And then, Lambda Delta's body was lit up by an emerald green light. When she turned around, the cat's eyes and Lambda Delta's met. And I believe... Hold on a second. Well, the theater is judging whether or not we should continue on from here, because we still have like 20 minutes left. Because this is an extra long chapter. I'll say that for free right now.
I think this is a good place to, well, just personally, like this is a very cinematic stop point. I feel.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
one more
Yeah.
Tomorrow?
Wait,
Or
what?
is
Hold
everyone
on.
got
What's
stuff?
up? What's up, Randy? Hold on. What's up?
I'm looking according to what's in the Fight Club, and I think we should have one more line.
One more line?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Lambda Delta grinned and waved. Okay, now we're going to stop.
You didn't wanna begin the next session with a bang?
Well, no, I wanted.
Well, we are. The bang's right there.
Dude, always go off on a good point.
I mean, they were both good points.
It's fine.
Go out on a high note, like George Costanza.
And sploosh.
Oh look, there's Beatrice on the end card, on the break time card.
Yep.
Oh look,
Oh, Banger's
she's so
playing.
happy.
This is a good. You know what? This is a good song to end on.
You know, I feel like you could superimpose the Anya face, the smug Anya face on the Lambda.
Yeah.
I think it would fit really well.
Wait, which smug on your face? That
smug on your face.
Con for
There-
reference, it was
there are
the emo
several.
woman in
There are
CSP.
several.
No, the face.
Ah,
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
There's more than that? I thought that was the Anya face.
There's multiple in the manga.
Spoilers. OMG.
He does it a few times.
The I can't believe that she spoiled that Anya has more than one face.
So,
Trust me, the manga makes some of the anime expressions look so messed up, though. But man, I love Anya! And Lambda Delta just took the biggest, most awesome... Lambda!
What you
It's very
take?
good.
Shit.
Like the moment that he said rock paper, like somebody needs to be sacrificed. I'm like, it's gonna be Lambda. They're gonna
She
sacrifice.
took the most righteous L I have ever seen.
I mean, it's even pragmatic. She's immortal, right? Like, as she said, she could just live
That's
a
not
couple hundred years.
inherently a good thing.
B.
She's the biggest L there is.
Eh?
B.
Eh?
Girl,
Yeah?
you have earned my respect and admiration. You have just made
You did
Lambda
already?
Delta one of my favorite characters. Your
Only just
portrayal
now?
is amazing. I am.
Top 3 at minimum.
You are goddess.
Well,
I am emotional right now.
In
Oh
my
gosh.
opinion, B has always had my respect and my love.
Very true.
Stop, you're gonna make me blush.
No, stop.
You're so funny and pretty and great. Yes, Morinda, Lambda is great.
Would everyone be able to show up tomorrow for a makeup thing or nah?
I don't know.
I'm allergic to makeup.
So am I.
What were we gonna do normally on Monday? Was that coffee talk?
Probably, yeah.
Coffee talk, yeah.
I don't know. It's like if you want to do coffee talk or
I don't mind. We're pretty close to finishing coffee talk. I could just do that on Friday.
Or not Friday, Wednesday.
Wednesday?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Up to you all, though.
I mean, it's a work night, but I can swing it.
Okay.
Would it be going late, or would it end around the same time?
I mean, we always try to end it around the same
How much
time, but
also,
these...
do we have left?
I mean, I'm not sure if we want to know that.
Yeah, I don't want to know that.
But I think we should also figure out if Joshi would be available, because I'm sure he
Oh, yeah, actually.
Yeah, like our pace is semi-random, and it's hard to judge so far ahead of time.
Also,
when there will be a good stopping point.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I will say I did not expect Sim Genji. He spooked me whenever he talked. I so rarely hear Sim talk during
So
these.
true, though.
You did a good job, though, Sim.
Oh yeah, he did a great job. It's just whenever I heard Sim go, I forget what Genji's first line was. I just kind of went, oh.
Also, Goda done fucked up. Okay.
Yeah, of course he did.
Well, yes, he's a big goofy man. We all love him for it, even if he may have potentially doomed Lambda.
Nah, but they are gonna go down swinging.
Noir, you did a very sexy runaway. Very good job.
Why, thank you.
Oh, this fucking dog, I swear to God.
Yeah.
Dog in the gold.
The dog did the best performance.
What the dog doing, though?
I was actually gonna ask, if your dog's sitting for your neighbor, what kind of dog is it?
I have no fucking clue what the hell
I
this
thought
thing
Colin was going to say, you know, I really did want to ask, what is the dog doing?
Something perfectly
Also,
mundane.
tomorrow, are you still having dog?
I have no idea.
Because if you are still having dog, it might be good to postpone the Umi.
Quick question: Does the dog look like the one dog that people post? Whitney Houston
No,
is
it does
what
not
they
look
named.
like Whitney Houston. I'm sorry.
Aw.
You know,
Have
know
you
the-
guys looked up Whitney Houston? Oh, yeah.
You know the funny thing?
Is this a D's Nuts show?
Oh, it's that dog.
No, it's no, no.
the
Bone.
homophobic
Actually,
dog.
Dog.
it's not a D's nuts. It's an actual dog.
Okay.
You know the funny thing? I actually was gonna ask what the dog was doing.
I have no clue what the hell this dog is doing. I'm gonna be real.
No, not that doggo!
Okay.
Yeah, that's Whitney Houston.
Wait, that's what you
Her owners are gay!
No, they're aware of it and they find it very funny, I'm fairly certain.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Wait, John, did you just go, no, the owners are gay? What?
Yes.
What does that mean?
Dog
What do
is
you mean,
Dog is
no?
homophobic.
Okay.
Do you not know the name?
Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap things up here.
Okay, yeah.
Before you guys
Still,
say
that
something
was
regrettable on the
insane.
internet.
That was insane. Shit's gonna go down. Goda done fucked up. Everybody here is just doing an amazing, fucking fantastic job.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
Alright. See y'all later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.